game in. Unfortunately, it is a loss by 1 point by the Chicago Bulls, which most of the second half was all the all the Bulls bench players and a lot of their team that's going to be on the G League and two-way contract players. But we're going to talk about it, break it all down right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to our first post-game show of the season. It's preseason at that, but hey, this was actually a more entertaining game than what I was initially expecting coming in. It really was. And even in the second half with, the second and third string guys mainly playing, it still was a pretty entertaining game. But, one thing that we do learn from the Chicago Bulls is, hey, almost everything that they talked about and the way that they want to change the offense, it seems like it's going to be real, right? At least from this first preseason game. Now, they didn't have the success. Overall, we shot the ball terribly, 39% overall from the field as a team. We did take 35 three-pointers this game. Now, keep in mind, if that becomes the average, right, that puts the Bulls not just in the top 10, that will put them in the top 6 at three-point attempts per game. So that change is legit. Now, they didn't have the success in it, 37% from three-pointer overall in this game. We got 12 free throws as well. The Bulls have talked about wanting to get to the free throw line more. And 15 offensive rebounds from the Chicago Bulls team. And the reason I pick out those areas because those are all areas where the Chicago Bulls have talked about and needed to make change to what they do on the basketball court. Now, they didn't have the success. They didn't get the win. It's preseason, so I'm not going to overanalyze it. Just like I said, I wasn't going to overanalyze the good things that they did. But I am going to talk about and look at the style of play from the Chicago Bulls. And the style of play, it is different out there. The results, not so different as of yet, but the style of play was definitely different. 15 turnovers for the Chicago Bulls to 24 assists. They also had 24 assists on 39 made baskets. That's a solid assist ratio. Some overpassing out there from the Chicago Bulls, especially with that first unit. That concerns me. See if we'll get that underway. The Chicago Bulls in this game, 18 fouls. They also need to figure that out. You can't overlook that. And then the Bulls, again, giving up big lead. 14-point lead at one point in this game. They end up losing the game by 3 points. So, we got some things that we absolutely need to work on and tighten up in this game. We got to see Arnold Bidham. That three-point shot looks like it's going to be legit at the NBA level, albeit one game so far in that game. Arnold Bidham taking 3 shots, 2 of those being three-pointers. He hits both his three-point shots in this game. We got to see some Julian Phillips, 10 minutes of Julian Phillips. Hey, Julian has to be able to finish around the rim. He has to be. He got 4 shots in this game, converted on 1 of those. Dalen Terry was 1 of 5 as well from the field. Some concern there as well. Adama Sanago, didn't expect to see him. We did. He went 2 of 5 from the field in 8 minutes. Actually had a positive plus-minus of +3. But overall, like I said, some things to take away from this game. We'll end up seeing how it turns out and what this speaks to for the Bulls. Change of pace and play overall as an offense. But overall, it was good to see Bulls basketball back. We got to see some things, got to see a more aggressive Patrick Williams for sure. And let's see if that continues to be what we see from this team. But, Patrick Williams, a very aggressive first half of the game. Didn't play much of the second half. His second leading scorer with 13 points. Kobe White leading the team in scoring with 14. DeMar DeRozan only took 6 shots in this game as well. So, Nikola Vucevic only 3 shots in the game, all 3 of those being in the first half. I don't even think Vooch really checked in much in the second half. Only 17 total minutes played for him and DeMar in this game. So, we'll end up seeing what happens in this game. But let's see. Jackson, Carleek. Neither one of them I give a damn about being on this team, if I'm being 100% honest. That's from Andrew. El Trapo in the building says, turnover Terry in the house. Yeah, how many turnovers did Dalen Terry have? Only 1 turnover from Dalen Terry. Don't overstate that. 1 turnover from him. Chris Montez says, lots to talk about. Go Bulls. There's a lot to talk about from a standpoint of the style of play for sure. PPN Patch says Bidham hit 2 great shots, not to touch again after that. Listen, Bidham, one of the things that I'm sure that the Bulls want to see from Bidham this year, adjustment to the three-point range, the NBA three-point range, adjustment to the physicality. As physical as Bidham has been as a defender in EuroLeague, even against third stringers, really didn't look that much of a defender. He was out of place. Looks like the athleticism got to him a little bit, but that shot, that's going to be legit for him. Legit. Nice poster by Quentin Jackson. Absolutely, Caruso. Absolutely. I got everything I needed to see tonight. Patrick Williams did good, and Kobe Y, and Kobe as in Kobe Bean Bryant apparently did good. So the questions have been answered so far. Bitim looks solid. Wish he got more touches. Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact, I would say this. That last shot that the Chicago Bulls got off, I think that was Quentin Jackson that went to the penetration. Stupid ass shot. They should have ran a 3-pointer for Bitim there, in my opinion. So, we'll see that. Let's see what we got here. Knox 13 lack. Is that supposed to be black? I like shots. They just got to start falling. Yeah, the shots they got were definitely better. They just we didn't hit it at a decent rate at all this game. The Bulls look better. This is going to be a good group. I like this group of guys for the Chicago Bulls. Absolutely like this group of guys. Do not be surprised if Javon Carter got it right and didn't say Jalen. If Javon Carter is the starting point guard next game, do not be surprised with that. If they want to take a look at what Javon looks like out there with the starters. Onolap Biddum shot the 3 well. He's a player to watch most definitely. He's one of the reasons why I will be doing, if you don't know, that's from Nicola Vons. I do not be surprised if, he's one of the reasons why I am doing weekly Windy City Bulls updates once the G League season starts. So every Sunday, you'll be getting 2 episodes from me on Sunday. Sometimes 3 if the Bulls play on Sundays, but you'll be getting the normal mailbag daily episode on Sundays, and then Sunday nights, probably around 7 p.m. is probably when I'll drop it. Around 7 p.m., you'll be getting the G League update episodes where I'll go over the full week of games from the G League. I'll go over who had the best performances for the week. I'll go over the win-loss record for the week. I'll go over the other standouts that may not be on 2-way contracts from the week. So if you want constant updates on Onolap Biddum, Adama Sanago, Justin Lewis, who all appeared in this game, I'll be giving that to you guys once a week with the G League update. So make sure you guys are tuned in for that. Jerome Lucas says Bitim needs more time. He has potential. Oh, tons of potential. Absolutely. And I think the Bulls are using this first season with Bitim to really take a look at to get him adjusted, right? Get him working with the development teams, things like that. I would not be surprised, especially if they end up needing some more 3-point shooting, if he's activated a few times this year. But then next season, I think we're going to see a lot of Bitim at the NBA level for sure. Bitim should have taken that last shot, to be honest. I don't know what Jackson was trying to do. 100% agree with you. And I really did go into that with that last shot. I thought they were going to be running a 3 for Bitim. They didn't, but it is what it is. Bitim, I don't know. I'm probably going to mix back and forth in it. Need to see more from Bitim. Absolutely, I want to see more, especially in the next preseason game. Let's see. Bitim is him. Let's hope so. I wouldn't necessarily say that Dalen Terry or Julian Phillips are already offensive lie, but I know for sure the energy on defense and are defensively going to help. Defensively is where they both need to hang their hats at initially, right? We'll see where the offense comes. Phillips, I was kind of disappointed with his lack of finishing. I know he had that dunk, but I was kind of disappointed with him not finishing around the rim better. And that shot, we always knew that shot was probably going to be work for him for sure, right? Let's see what else we got. I saw some great things in terms of our shot profile and ball movement. We're still small, though. We're going to be small. And I don't think the size is the thing that hurt the Bulls today. I'm more so looking at the fact that we didn't hit our shots well, right? Shot profile, solid. Moving the ball around, okay. There's some overpassing there. I think you can tell that this coaching staff has really drilled home to this Bulls team the importance of ball movement and player movement, but we got to do it with intention. We can't just move the ball to be moving the ball, because overpassing can be just as detrimental as underpassing to a basketball team, and we saw some of that from the Chicago Bulls today. BL Jet says, get them likes up. Y'all listen to the general. Y'all heard the man talk. Vern in the building says, yo, what up, Haize? You can definitely tell that the transition in pace was a major point of emphasis. We can definitely get out and run on both ends for sure, right? And, you want to move, but you don't want to be running gun. I think a lot of fans, when they hear quicker pace or push the pace, they think run and gun. You don't want to be a run and gun team in the NBA. You want to move with intention, right? You want to move the ball around quickly and make quick decisions. You want to get out in transition and run when you force turnovers, but you don't want to be a run and gun team. The Bulls aren't set up to be run and gun, but they can be a team that's pretty solid at pushing the pace. Those are very different things for my basketball heads out there. They already know that. Batum and Sanago more NBA ready. Phillips looks promising. Just needs more work. Quentin Jackson was wild. I got to disagree with you on Sanago. Sanago's not NBA ready at all. He's not NBA ready. He looked okay out there against the third string of the Milwaukee Bucks, but he's not NBA ready. That foot speed's not. His shot is going to be slow as hell. Now, one thing I will say that will be NBA ready for Adama Sanago is rebounding and his timing on his block shots. Even though he's not the quickest decision making, that may get him on the basketball court for the Chicago Bulls quickly. But I still think he needs to round out his game more so for the NBA level. Dalen Terry hasn't shown me much lately. Maybe in time he'll get better, but I still hold to this day he wasn't the correct draft pick we needed. I feel like Acme needs to decide between him or Phillips. They play very different positions. You don't have to decide between either one of them. Very different positions. Dalen Terry can play the 1, 2, and 3. Julian Phillips can play the 3, 4, and 5. Right? So they aren't the same player, even though they have similar body makeup and maybe a similar play style to a degree, but they're not the same player at all. You don't have to decide between either one of them. You want to develop both of them because they both can be very versatile weapons for your team, but you have to develop them and get the most out of them. Dalen Terry, right now, the best aspects of Dalen Terry's game is going to be defense, forcing turnovers, passing in transition. His half-court passing is absolute dog shit trash. And that's why when people are like, oh, he can be a Lonzo replacement. Hell no. His half-court passing is absolutely god-awful, and that shot has much left to be desired. But Terry can still be a promising pick. Was he the right pick? Personally, I think the Bulls should have drafted Walker Kessler. Could you imagine where we'd be right now if the Bulls had drafted Walker Kessler and we had Walker Kessler as the backup to Nikola Vucevic, right? Now, Walker Kessler ended up being able to start. Who knows? The Bulls may not even re-sign Nikola Vucevic if they had drafted Walker Kessler. I think they probably still would have for what they got him for, but Walker Kessler would have absolutely been a future starter for the Chicago Bulls had the Bulls have drafted him. Walker Kessler, in my opinion, should have been the pick there. That's my opinion. And then even if you would have went high upside, Nikola Jovic, I still think is a player that I look at as having higher overall upside than Dalen Terry. But hey, it woulda, coulda, shoulda there. Let's see. El Trapo says Phillips looks like he got some great potential. Oh, Julian Phillips absolutely has great potential, but potential isn't always realized. They have to sharpen that knife, and it could be a great knife for the Chicago Bulls. Vuk, Zach, and DeMar all didn't play in the second half. Yeah, and that's telling. It is what it is there, right? So, you gotta. And I said that at the pregame show. I was like, do not be surprised if you don't see much of the Bulls starters at all in the second half. And it is what it is. Chi-Town Sports, Quentin Jackson, what are your thoughts? He looks absolutely tough, and I would love to see how he could develop. Oh, and we'll be covering him down there in the Windy City Bulls. I definitely think that's where he's going to go, and we'll see. Let's see. The Windy City farm system looking a different now, AK effect. The length with Phillips and Lewis on the wings together look decent compared to years past, lacking size and length, it felt like. Well, Giovanni, here's what I'll say with that, right? Is that, a lot of fans in basketball in general, we live in a microwave society. They want to see it all now, quickly, right? But if the Bulls are going to truly use the Windy City Bulls to develop players, right? And that's what you have, a player development staff. One of the members who's not officially on the player development staff, but we hired a European shooting coach down there. He's the assistant coach of the Windy City Bulls. That's what you want. We'll see if in a few years if they're truly using the Windy City Bulls to develop those players. But hopefully they are. Batum can shoot it without a doubt, but this was just day one of NBA speed for him. Exactly. OB, a knockdown shooter. He was a damn good shooter over in EuroLeague. If he can turn into that, and I'll say this, the shot was a little bit quicker than I was expecting it to be too. So let's see if that develops. Philip says, I like what I've seen from Kobe. I like what I see from Kobe as well, right? Kobe, he's continuing that upwards trajectory that his growth was on. We'll see if it continues for him. Let's see. Julian Phillips looked good. The misses were nervousness. Almost had a poster before the Bucks dunk. Oh, for sure. And, it's going to come as well. It's definitely going to come as well. We like to think that these players are just ready to go, right? But the nervousness is a thing. Adjusting to the NBA game is a thing because I tell you what, even the speed of the game, even facing third stringers in the NBA is so much different than NCAA, just the quickness of the game. And I think that you saw a little bit of that get to Julian Phillips. We'll see if that works out of him over the course of it for sure. But that defense, I like his defense for sure. I love the ball movement. Kobe and P. Will look great out there. Batum and Phillips were great signings, and Io showed out. In my dreams, Drell and Batum will be our splash bros off the bench. Henry Drell is an interesting one, right? He's been in the Bulls system now for 3 years. I think that he's going into his third year in the Bulls G League system. And, like we've talked about, if they're truly going to turn into that team that uses their G League team as a farm system, that they cultivate talent down there, Henry Drell is still really young, right? So we'll end up seeing what that turns into. But Drell has some issues defensively, but when you look at players like Max Strus, right? I know that's a player that he's compared to a lot. Sometimes it takes time, and if the Bulls have that time to invest in them, I'm not saying they'll ever get anything more than a spot-up shooter or role player, but even if you do that, right, that's using your G League system correctly. So we'll see. Thanasis is the type of dude who think he's the best player on the court. Oh, absolutely. But here's what I'll say, right? Do you really want a basketball player on your team? Irrational confidence is a thing that you kind of want from some of your players, right? But Thanasis definitely thinks he's his brother. Haize, I really like Kobe's game. Look forward to a big year from him, P. Will, and Io. Io is going to, like I said, Io's going to have a bit of a tougher go, I think, when it comes to, he played 15 minutes in this game, but most of that coming in the second half. He's going to have a tougher go to really crack that rotation. But when you look at Io's second half, right? 3 for 8 from the field, 8 points. He had 2 rebounds, 2 assists. 2 personal fouls, which you want to get that underway. But Io, for him to be a big role for the Chicago Bulls, it's going to have to be being an energy guy, being a great defensive player, right? Let the offense come to him at times in transition. But he may have an inconsistent role to start. So we'll see. Let's see. I still think Kobe is better suited off the bench. His instant offense against lesser competition. I agree with you. That's kind of been my thought. And like I said, I would be willing to bet that Javon Carter starts the second preseason game just to take a look. Not to say that it means that Kobe's being demoted, but I think Billy Donovan's going to use these preseason games to really take a look at the different point guards with the starting lineup, right? And I think that, do not be surprised if, the next couple of days of practice that you hear that as well. Who's our next preseason opponent? I don't remember it off the top of my head. We have Denver on Thursday. We have Denver actually Thursday and Sunday. So, big test there. We'll see what comes up with it. So we have a 4-day break there. But, hey, Thursday, we're right back to it. Right back to it. Brian says, God darn, Sinago got Butterfingers. Hey, listen. It is what it is. Shot Bulls podcast, it's either C-Dub or Bobby says Kobe White was terrific. He was solid. He was definitely solid. Vern in the building says, yo, Haize, would you personally want to see Kobe in the starting lineup or off the bench? You can definitely tell he worked on his game in the summer. I want to see, like I said, I think that Javon Carter's probably going to get a preseason game to start to see what he looks like with the starters. And then I'll wait to make my decision. I've kind of always have said Javon Carter as the starter only because he understands how to get his shots. Kobe can be more ball dominant off the bench, things like that. But we'll end up seeing, man. We'll end up seeing. At the end of the day, like I said before, I can't be mad at whoever wins it because it is an open competition, and whoever brings that fire gets the starting spot. That's it. Yo-Yo says, to be honest, the offense look a lot better when Javon Carter is running it. And I said that in the first half as well. The ball moves better when Javon Carter's out there, at least in this first game. We'll see if that continues, though. Let's see what we got here. From Malik says, the pace seemed faster to me than last year, and I liked it. Didn't always look like we were in 2006. Oh, the pace was definitely faster. There's not a question for that, right? The pace was definitely faster. But we got to see if that continues, right, for the Chicago Bulls. Like right now, it looked improved as far as the pace. We need to hit the shots at a much better clip. But if that continues, listen, I'll tell you what, if that continues with us taking over 33 pointers per game, it's going to be very different looking Chicago Bulls offense. Now we got to see if that translates and maintains, which it doesn't always. We looked a little different in preseason last year, and then it didn't always keep going in the regular season. We saw players kind of get back to what was kind of came naturally to them, and hopefully we don't see them kind of fall back in that type of trap. So, we'll end up seeing with that. All right, let's see. Brandon Peck says, "What up, Haize? What's going on, Brandon? Glad to have you in the building." Carlik Jones looked great everywhere except with us, because Carlik Jones is not an NBA level player. Just is what it is. I said this all season long. Off season, when people were talking about, oh, well, we got the G League MVP. When people talked about his FIBA tournament, which was great, I don't want to knock him for that. But Carlik Jones is not an NBA player. He doesn't have the size to guard anyone in the NBA. His shot release, he at the NBA, he is not quick enough to get off that shot like he did at the G League level. I just don't see it for Carlik at the NBA level. But hey, I mean, I've been wrong before. We'll see. Cortez in the building. He says, I think Kobe looked good with both units, and I like B Tim. I mean, hey, I'm sure that a lot of people are going to be talking about him after this one, I feel so. Let's see. Missed the game until that and one dunk from Jackson last second. How they do? I mean, well, hopefully you've gotten it from this conversation. They overall, they played with a better pace. They shot more three-pointers. They moved the ball a lot more. Players are moving without the ball a lot more. There's some overpassing, things like that. So, collab with Aiden from the Bulls Show. He started streaming on YouTube today. You are my two favorite YouTube. Well, Aiden's my guy, right? I helped get Aiden back on YouTube after he was worried about his channel being taken down. And Aiden's great. I've actually invited Aiden on before. I think Aiden is one of those people, though, that kind of overthinks collabs, but I'll get him on eventually. Aiden's a good dude, man. I like Aiden a lot. I know Kobe did a good job tonight, but I still think he needs to come off the bench, because the way I saw it tonight, the second unit doesn't necessarily have a scorer, just decent shooters. I mean, that is very true, and you got to look at bench scoring eventually, but, we'll see. We'll see. Is it me, or Dalen still looks like he's playing too fast? No hate to him, but geez. But anyway, who was that dude that got the dunk? I still don't know his name. Quentin Jackson, I think is his name. But yeah, I mean, Dalen Terry's still a guy who the game needs to slow down to, for sure. Definitely needs to slow down for him. Oh yeah, all three of them need work. Just saying, Sanago and Bitchum are more NBA ready than Phil. Oh, for sure. I definitely agree with you on that one. G God is God says, keep the grind going. I appreciate your channel, bro. I appreciate y'all, bro. Like, I really do. And that's what I do it for, man. We're going to have fun this season. A lot of fun this season. Some shit talking, that is what it is. Some people going to get cooked, but it is what it is. Taurus Law says, my take is I wasn't mad at what I saw first half. Our vet show promised that they understand what's needed from them this year. Second half was more about seeing what our youngins can do. They have potential. Yeah, I mean, there's potential on this team for sure. Definitely potential on this team. Did you notice Terry Stotts on the Bucks coaching staff, former Blazer coach from when Dame got drafted? I didn't pay attention to that, but hey, shout out to that. Bring Dame over, get him familiar with somebody. Stuff like that. Windy City Bulls games are going to be great. Listen, I watched every single Windy City Bulls game last year, right? I didn't talk about it a lot because I honestly didn't know if Bulls fans were as interested in Windy City Bulls games, but I know that a lot of people are this season. But like, Windy City Bulls games are always entertaining, right? And I think it's going to be even more entertaining this year for sure. I'll be real, Haize. Dalen does not need to be handling the ball. We need to focus on developing his shot making and defense, because I see him being a solid two-way scorer off the bench. Well, I mean, I get it that that's what you see for him, but that might not actually be where the Bulls see for him. I mean, ball handling was one of the things he did well in high school. He did well in college. So they may want to develop that. And I more so see Dalen Terry as being a Swiss Army knife, somebody who can do a little of everything. So, no, I think they need to develop his ball handling and playmaking, because I definitely think that he's going to need that aspect of his game for sure. Lil Famo says, Haize, I don't know if you're paying attention, but I was watching at the end to see which one of our young players was going to step up and say we're not losing with Dalen, Julian, Carlik, but none of them did. I mean, all of them are players that are very flawed players right now. So I think for a young player to step up and say, we're not losing, you have to have a talent that you can bet on. Right now, Dalen's still figuring out his game. Right now, Julian's still filling out his game. Right now, Karlik is trying to figure out if he is in the right sport or if he should be in the midget basketball league. But at the end of the day, like, you don't really have that guy. I do think that guy could have been Ernest Biddum. I think that's a guy who you could see develop into that guy out of the young players and in that third unit, right? But I do think that the Bulls they didn't really go. The offense didn't really go to him a lot. So as that continues, maybe that would be something that we start seeing from him a little bit more. But Biddum would be the guy I would say on that unit that we saw tonight. He's the guy to bet on being the guy that's going to say, oh, no, we're not losing tonight. Benji, I would say this. You should probably actually watch the game today because passive was not a problem from Patrick Williams tonight at all, not even remotely. You got to see he had one play where I'll say passive Pete reared his head a little bit. But other than that, there was no passive Patrick Williams tonight. So, Benji, I would say actually watch the game of basketball that was played today before you comment on it. That's probably what I would say, personally. You know, that's just something that I would suggest is kind of try to watch the game before you leave a comment about the game. Maybe just a little bit. Thoughts on Craig? I mean, Torrey Craig was kind of exactly what I talked about at the halftime hangout, right? He's a guy that understood. He was aggressive on both sides of the ball. He came in, understood what he needed to do, and he didn't shy away. 9 shots in 19 minutes from Torrey Craig, right? 7 points from him, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Torrey Craig understands his role, and he understands what he needs to do to excel at the game of basketball when he's on the court. So, Karlik Jones is a future FIBA legend. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. That dude is absolutely a FIBA legend. Gotta disagree with you here, brother. I won't say they were playing scared at all, unless you're talking about the young players when they were in there in the second half. But if you're talking about the starters, I don't say that they were scared at all. I honestly think they were trying to move the ball a little bit too much to drill that point home of not sticking. But I got to disagree with you on that. They were playing scared. I didn't see that unless you're talking about the young guys, then absolutely I agree with you there. Craig and Carter would be good on this team. Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. But Tim was definitely the youngin that impressed me for sure. For sure. Absolutely. How to take a page out of your Petty Roosevelt book on a non-believing ass Bulls fan, Bears fan, LOL. Hey, listen, every once in a while, like I always attribute it back to this, right? Sometimes, even at work, right? I got my first ever supervisor position by going clean the fuck off on my boss. It was really like something out of a movie. I went off on him because he did something stupid, and I thought I was gonna be fired. I came in 2 days later after my off days. He was like, "Hey, I want to talk to you." And I was like, bet, I'm about to get fired. I was 19 years old. I was like, bet, I'm about to get fired. It's all cool. I'll find another job. And he was like, hey, man, hey, I really appreciate it. Think about what you said. I really appreciate it. I appreciate how much passion you have for the job. We have an open supervisor position. Would you interview for it? I said, hey, you got to be fucking shitting me. So, hey, listen, it is what it is. Every once in a while, you just got to go clean off on somebody to let them know they can't check you. That's it. Every once in a while. Well, chill at Haize. You're going to have them niggas from the midget basketball league trying to take your channel down. Hey, listen, if they can stack up high enough to take me down, hey, listen, let's shout out to them. Shout out to them, bro. I will kick all them motherfuckers in their kneecaps. Every single one of them.
Can y'all believe that motherfucker Haize talked about the midget basketball league? He doesn't motherfucking understand how much work we put in. That we are gonna go get that motherfucker. We're gonna show up. The whole pack of midgets are gonna show up and get this motherfucker Haize.
And I swear to God, if those motherfuckers show up at my house, I am drop kicking every one of them pinball motherfuckers. Shout out to Pick from the fucking Alpha Force. Fuck those motherfuckers. I don't got to give a shit. But Tim looks like he has to adjust to the NBA. But I hope he can get some minutes this year. Like our quicker pace, Carter and Craig are nice additions. Hopefully, continuity will lead to a better year. Oh, absolutely. But I want to prepare you guys, right? be prepared because the Bulls fans, especially ones that don't watch this game, all I can tell you this, when you go on Reddit, when you go on Twitter, when you go on, what's that dumbass site now that used to be a good site? Bloggable. When you go on these sites and you have fans that are click-clacking away and they get to saying shit like, can you believe that the Chicago Bulls lost to the Milwaukee Bucks without Giannis, without Chris Middleton? Dame didn't even check in. These motherfuckers still lost to the Bucks, and these Bulls fans think we're gonna win 40-something games. Oh, this is gonna be a long fucking season. When those motherfuckers get to saying shit like that, you literally look them in the face and say, "I can tell you don't watch the game of basketball, you bitch," and then you just walk the fuck off. Bloggable, I used to love Bloggable. I've been going to Bloggable since I was about 20 years old. I'm 37 fucking years old. That motherfucker is the biggest bitch on all of Twitter complaining about dumb shit. Him and Bulls, what's the motherfucker ran by Sammy Hassan? What is it? Bulls Daily, whatever the fuck that shit is. No, not Bulls. Bulls Daily is actually a good page. What is it? Diehard Bulls fan. Those two motherfuckers, they need to go and circle jerk them motherfucking each other because they both dumbass bitches. Both of them. And you can take a clip, you can post this on Twitter, you can tag them bitches. I don't give a fuck. If they got a problem with what Haize said, they can come see about me. Because I swear to fucking God, I will smack eyesight into Sammy Hassan's bitch ass. I promise to God I will. I wish that motherfucker would. Come test me if you want to, you bitch ass motherfuckers. That's what I got to say. There you go. Petty Roosevelt rant. Done. All right, bet. Let's keep it pushing. You should do the voice change with it. Oh, man, listen. I ain't got time for nobody this season, bro. Nigga waiting to get fired and got a promotion. Hey, bro, it was the craziest thing in my life. Keep in mind, I was 19. My first son was on the way. And I was like, hey, man, I'm about to get fired, bro. Like, I'm about to put in tons of applications everywhere. That motherfucker came, he was like, go ahead and have a seat. We got to talking. He started saying positive shit. I was like, is he about to hit me with that? I'm about to say something positive, and then I'm going to be like, go ahead and clean out your locker. Don't come back. Hey, but hey, it is what it is. Oh, man. One thing concerning about Bidham was his defense. He looked really slow on defense and got cooked. Agree with you, Leviant. That was the biggest thing, and that may be also what keeps him from getting on the court this first year. They may need to see him, how he's going to adjust to the physicality of the NBA game, right? But I'll tell you this, at some point, even if he doesn't adjust, you just got to go out there and let him be a shooter, because if that shooting prowess shows true, hey, it is what it is, man. Haize, you must be a Gemini, because what the fuck? Oh, no, I'm a Sag. I am a Sagittarius. Proud and true Sagittarius. So, it is what it is there. Inside the Chicago Bulls is listen, we've been cooking inside I had 50 subscribers and I was cooking inside the Chicago Bulls, bro. Inside the Chicago Bulls is the absolute biggest bitch in all of Bulls YouTubing. Like, that motherfucker hasn't watched the Bulls game in at least 5 years. Like, I remember when he posted a video and that motherfucker was like, Bulls fans, okay, listen here. Okay, guys, you're gonna be really, Bulls fans. I really do appreciate you guys for showing up. Welcome to another episode of Inside the Chicago Bulls. And listen, guys, this is really shocking. The Chicago Bulls lost today, and one of the things, I don't understand why the Chicago Bulls did not play. Who was it at the time? Damn it, who was it? It was somebody. Damn it, it was Stanley Johnson. That's who it was. He was like, I don't understand. We needed some signs out there. We didn't play him. And I was like, the motherfucker got cut 2 weeks ago. This motherfucker doesn't actually watch the Chicago Bulls. Fuck Inside the Chicago Bulls, bro. Fuck that motherfucker, bro. Like, I ain't got time for that. Him, Sammy Hassan, Bloggable, all them bitches. Listen, I'm telling you what, this is 2023 going into the 24 season, so y'all know this is updated. I'm telling y'all right now, Inside the Chicago Bulls, diehard Bulls fans, and Bloggable, all y'all should not even have a fucking platform. And if you got a problem with me saying it, you can come try to check me if you want to. I promise you, I will smack you so hard, your mama will feel it in her ovaries. Don't test me. Not this season. I ain't got time for you motherfuckers. Not this season. We ain't got time for it. We ain't got time for it. Diehard Chicago Bulls fans on Facebook is already saying the Bulls lost despite Giannis. See, what did I say? That motherfucker Sammy Hassan with his Coke bottle ass glasses, right? That motherfucker can't he ain't seen his own dick in 15 years, bro. That motherfucker, like I'm telling you, bro, that motherfucker got 25 times magnification on his glasses and ain't seen his own dick in 15 years. Fuck him, right? Fuck him. And that motherfucker was threatening women on Twitter. Fuck Sammy Hassan and fuck diehard Chicago Bulls fans, right? That's what I got to say about that motherfucker. If he got a problem, you can come see me. It's simple. It's simple. I'm not hard to find. Matter of fact, you can tell me where to show up. It ain't that hard, bro. It's really not that hard. Lil Famo says, Sagittarius are one of the nice people in the world. I never would have thought. Hey, listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. Bro, they already on Twitter talking about Bulls are so bad they make the Thanasis look. See, I can already tell I'm about to be cooking motherfuckers today. Somebody's getting cooked today. I can feel it. Between them and Arby's Angels celebrating Drake's new album, all these motherfuckers got to go, bro. Like, I'm tired of everybody right now. I'm tired of everybody. Certification Poppy says, I stopped listening to Inside the Chicago Bulls when he said Buddy that cooked for one game was the next Kobe during that COVID season. See, like, he's stupid, bro. Like, he's really an idiot, man. Let's see. What do you think of the new players like Phillips, Sanago, and Bitim in this game? All right, I already talked about it, but I'll kind of condense it here. Bitim, three-point shot, legit, right? Needs to work on his defense, and I want to see him, like, in EuroLeague, he was able to take players off the dribble. I want to see him work that more. I want to see Billy Donovan actually, next preseason game, actually work some sets in for Bitim. Phillips has to finish around the rim. Just has to. The defense was cool, right? Some defensive lapses. The defense was cool. Need to see finish around the rim better. And Adama Sanago has to allow the game to slow to him. I don't know if it was nervousness. I don't know what. But every time Adama Sanago touched the ball, it was almost like, shit, we about to turn it over, ain't we? We got to get those things under gear for him. But, you know, I mean, technically, Adama Sanago had no turnovers in this game. I think he just didn't hold on to rebound, so it counted as a rebound for the other team. But we got to figure some stuff out there. Diehard on all of his posts about hypothetical matchups are annoying as fuck. Amongst other things, was that page always complete trash? I thought it used to be different. Different is insufferable now. No, it's always been trash. It's always been trash. Always been trash. They say Sagittarius and Aquarius make really good travel buddies for some reason. Listen, I'm not worried. I'm not traveling with none of you motherfuckers. I will meet y'all there. Alfonso McKinney. Listen, I've been cooking. I couldn't wait for him to get cut. But all right, y'all, man. 37 minutes on a preseason game. I appreciate you guys so much, man. Like, we're back. If you guys can't tell, it's the NBA season. We done already cooked inside the Chicago Bulls. It's the NBA season. Haize is back. I almost said inside the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls Central is back. It's going to be a great season. Oh, by the way, I said this during the preseason game, the pregame. I'm doing today's mailbag in an hour, probably about an hour, hour and a half. So I want to get all you guys that want to send in a voicemail, because I want to hear from you guys on your thoughts on the preseason game. So I'll be recording the mailbag episode here in about an hour, hour and a half. The voicemail number is 773-270-2799. Again, 773-270-2799. Make sure you guys leave a voicemail with your thoughts on today's preseason game. Who stood out to you? Who you think looked terrible? Who you think looked good, right? What are some of the things, your thoughts on Billy Donovan? What do you think about the change of the offensive system and philosophies? Let me know all your guys' thoughts. Get those voicemails in. Start calling immediately. So want to hear from you guys on that one. Make sure you guys sound off on that. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the first live stream of this season. Make sure you guys are following the show at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. I'm going to put it up right there. We're going to do it officially. You can also send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullsCentralPod@gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. And if anybody got a problem with me saying that, they can come see about me. But otherwise, love you guys. Go Bulls. See red if you can, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.
See red.